Divisional round football, no other explanation.
Go Pack Go!
And we're back with another episode of the one and only Allied Rivals podcast. My name is AJ Herschel, also known as The Kid, and I'm over here with my man, Cade Munn Bauer. And it is a big day for your club, man. It's a big day for your team.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm so excited. Oh man, I'm doing really good. I'm just so excited. That's pretty much it.
All right, fair enough. It's interesting that I am going to be a spectator now. Porter Drinks in ears already saying "Go Pack Go." He's got his sweater on with Cademan as well, flooding the comment section with support for Green Bay today. Brett D also in here. I'm starting to feel like Cademan texted people. No, I'm kidding. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's great to have y'all with us as normal. Cademan, I think we go ahead and jump right into it. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Before we get into the actual games, everyone, we just want to let you know, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and be sure to check out our other videos that we got. Lightning Bauer is also in the comment section already. What's up, man? Cademan, there were a couple coach hires over the past few days because some teams who are out of the playoffs just can't wait to go ahead and look towards the next year. First of all, Brad Holmes is hired as the GM of the Lions, and Scott Fitterer is hired as the GM of Carolina, taken from Seattle. Matt Canada, the quarterback's coach, has been promoted to OC of the Pittsburgh Steelers. But these are a couple interesting ones. One of them I didn't even know was going to happen. Jets defensive hired former DC Robert Saleh from the 49ers. I did not see this coming. What do you think of the hire, Cademan?
I mean, the Jets defense isn't probably going to get any worse, and you probably can't go wrong with anyone you're going to hire. So he's fit for the job. I'd take him.
Yeah, I think this is a great pick. He's a great, charismatic coach. Everyone in the 49ers has said that the Jets had got one of the best possible options out there. I think this is something the Jets definitely need, is someone on the defensive side, because they weren't like worst in the league, but they were still very, very bad basically the entire year. I think they really need the energy he's going to bring as well. The Falcons hired Titans offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. I think this is interesting. I just feel bad for him because he's walking into an absolute mess of cap space and players, and it's just I don't know how to feel about this. And now Raheem Morris, they go ahead and pass up on him. I don't know. What do you feel about this one, Cade?
Arthur Smith has done a lot of great things. He's done some great things for the Titans. He's made their offense really good at certain points. He's definitely a good schemer. Falcons, their problem wasn't on offense, though. Their problem was defense the whole year. So I'm not sure what exactly is going through all their minds, but I'm not sure right now.
Yeah, especially with Raheem Morris on the board, who knows the team, he knows the organization. I'm really interested to see that he didn't get the job. And I guess this is kind of them saying, look, we hired a defensive coach last time and our defense was absolutely horrible. Let's try to maximize our offense, because the Falcons were really hot and cold throughout the entire year of how well their offense was performing. First, second quarter, Julio and Ridley would already have 100 yards. Third quarter, Gurley, Ito Smith, and Brian Hill be getting 2 yards a carry, and Ryan gets sacked 5 times. So I think they really need that offensive spark. A little surprised it wasn't Raheem Morris, but I get it. And then finally, the Jaguars hire Urban Meyer, former head coach of basically half of the teams in college, extremely successful, been out of the loop for the last 2 years, working as an analyst kind of for Fox and just hanging out in the Ohio State management system. But honestly, I'm a little concerned, Cade. Urban Meyer, he's a great head coach for sure, but he's only had college experience. And granted, he's done incredibly well with that. Ohio State was basically perennially number one in the Big Ten while he was there. As much as I hate to say it, Florida was a very, very good team while he was there as well. I just don't know he's going to perform first time in the NFL. What do you think?
I mean, I don't think we're going to see any miracles from the Jaguars. I mean, they would have to draft really well. I could see that happening, but he's taken a couple of years off from coaching football. He's never coached in the NFL, but he has kind of moved his way up as he's been coaching throughout college. He started with I don't know exactly the team he started with, but I know he went to Bowling Green. I know he went to the Utes.
Yep.
I think he moved up to the Gators and then Ohio State. He just kind of kept moving on up. He just kept kind of moving on up, and now he's in the NFL. He's in the big league, and I think you have to start somewhere. I think he's going to make more than a one-win team.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially if they draft well, like you said. I mean, they basically have the keys to the kingdom in Trevor Lawrence or whoever they decide to choose at pick number 1 this year. And then after that, this is a guy who in 7 years at Ohio State only lost 9 games. I'm really interested to see how he's going to transition to the NFL. That's going to be it's going to be a completely different dynamic shift. But he said in multiple interviews that he's been preparing for this. He wasn't going to go unless it was the perfect job opportunity. He loves Florida. He loves Duval, so he's going to go ahead and head there. And he's been preparing for this basically for the last 2 years, I think, as well, because everyone wants Urban Meyer as a head coach. So I think it could work out really well. I've heard he's looking at Raheem Morris for his DC, which is going to be very interesting. But it really, I think, starts with how well they build their team. They got a lot of draft picks and a lot of cap space as well. They've got $70 million, most in the NFL. So I'm very curious to see what they do with that. But let's go ahead and move on into the games. And I know our comment section's already blowing up about this, but the Rams and the Packers are playing just a couple hours. Cademan's already repping his team. Cademan, this is a team where the Packers have been one of the best teams offensively all season. Rodgers is the de facto MVP. Aaron Jones has played very well, and Devontae Adams is having a year to remember. On the defensive side, I mean, they've been fine, but nothing out of this world. On the other side, the Rams are like the complete opposite. The Rams have one of the best defenses in football, yards per game, points allowed per game, sacks per game, everything, you name it, they're stacked. But on the offensive side, outside of an incredible running game with a healthy Cam Akers now, their passing game has been iffy all year. Jared Goff is still banged up. He is going to start. Wolford is out. What do you think about this game? I know you got your own bias in this, but how do you think this one's going to shake down?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of said it pretty well. We have the best offense versus the best defense, or at least one of the best defenses. And I don't think it's going to slow the Packers down too much. I mean, we're not going to score as well probably as we did on, like, say, the Titans, Titans. That's a good example. But we did score pretty well against the Colts, who at that time, they were one of the best passing defenses. We didn't have to run the ball too much. I think this is going to be a pretty spread out game for both Aaron Jones and Aaron Rodgers. I mean, yeah, the Packers defense isn't too great. I mean, but they've gotten better over the season. I mean, they absolutely smashed the Titans. They defeated the best running back in football. And some people are like, well, he got 98 yards. Yeah, but like 30 or 40 of those yards were in like garbage time. So I don't know. I'm hoping the Packers can take this one, and I think they will. I think their offense is just going to be too much, and the Rams' offense won't be able to keep up.
Yeah, I think
no bias.
I think the one thing this is going to come down to is Devontae Adams versus Jalen Ramsey. That's going to be the big matchup for me because Adams has been incredible. We all know that. There's a reason I drafted him in fantasy because he's great. But Jalen Ramsey is one of the best quarterbacks in football, period. And the last time that Devontae Adams was shut down was all the way back in week 5 against Tampa. Since then, he's been virtually unstoppable. And in the red zone, the Packers are great as well. You've got Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon at a renaissance at the end of the year, and Robert Tonyan is basically just their red zone target, period. So it's going to be very interesting. I think that's really where it's going to come down to in the trenches there. One thing I think is going to be big is losing David Bakhtiari. And That is huge for the Green Bay Packers. And the last two teams they've played are the Tennessee Titans, who have no pass rush, and the Chicago Bears with half of their defense out at that time. And they're going up against Aaron Donald and Leonard Floyd, who go to the left side where David Bakhtiari should be. That's their blind side. So I think that's also my other key matchup. Adams on Ramsey and Floyd and Donald versus the Packers' left side of their offensive line. I think that's what it's going to come down to. I think the Rams will run the ball well. They always do. They have a very good offensive line. But I think it comes down to just how well and how early Rodgers and Adams get their connection down. I think the Packers are going to take this one out, but I think it's going to be close, and ultimately it's going to be a banged-up Rams offense that isn't going to take the win, I think. I think that's what it's going to come down to for me.
Yeah, I think what I'm thinking about the Packers offense is if the Rams pass rushes get into Rodgers like a lot in the first quarter, then I mean you're not going to see any game from Devontae. If you see Rodgers isn't being touched a lot, Devontae always has a big game. So
true, very true. Good point.
Please hold up all offensive line.
Moving up to the next game, and this is a fun one. This is so much fun. Oh my goodness, we get Ravens Bills tonight, and I'm so excited. This is a battle of two exciting young teams. I'm very curious to see how this is going to go. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens heated up at the exact right time. The defense last week did the best job out of anyone stopping Derrick Henry to 2.2 yards a carry against Tennessee.
That was amazing.
Crazy. And then Buffalo, Josh Allen has come out of absolutely nowhere, been one of the most efficient quarterbacks, both throwing the ball and running the football. He has 500 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns on the year. Like these are two dynamic offenses. Diggs, Jackson, Andrews, Allen, Dobbins, Brown, and then 2 very good defenses as well. A great Ravens pass D against a great Bills pass D. It's a clash of the Titans. Cademan, what are you seeing from the Bills Mafia at home against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens?
I mean, I think the Bills are going to take this one, but I think really they just got to bring all the energy. They brought it last week, but they kind of let, especially in the beginning, but they kind of let the Colts creep back as the game went on. They did end up winning it, which is why they're here. You know that. But they got to bring a lot of energy to take care of the Ravens. They got to stop at least one of the running backs early in this game. And that's kind of almost impossible, it seems like, because you got like the 3-headed monster. You got Lamar, sometimes 4-headed. I mean, Edwards, Ingram, Dobbins. They're all big factors. If Lamar can establish an early pass game, though, I think that would be what would get the Ravens an early lead, because then you know that Lamar can now pass or throw and everything's going right for the Ravens offense. Bills run defense, which it's been good, but I'm interested to see how this defense fares against the running game of the Ravens. I don't know. I'm going Bills take this one.
Yeah, it's definitely going to come down to the Bills' run D against the Ravens' run D, because, I mean, the Bills haven't been bad, but you're going up against basically the best rushing offense in football. You got to cover 7 different people. They run pass options and triple options and double options very, very well. Lamar is efficient as a passer at the very least and incredible as a runner. And then with the Buffalo Bills, nobody's been able to contain Josh Allen since Bill Belichick all the way back in like week 6. Like, he has just been an absolute monster. Nobody's been able to stop Stephon Diggs. The wide receiving core of the Bills has gotten better and better, which was originally just Diggs and Beasley, has evolved into Gabriel Davis now being a major deep threat as well every single game. It's really interesting to see. And the Ravens passing offense ain't great. I mean, they got Andrews. Hollywood Brown has performed well over the last few weeks, but it's really just allowing them to set up the run first. That's where I think it's really got to start, because, I mean, they really don't have any other people outside of Hollywood and Andrews who are consistent receivers. So I think it's going to come down to how well the Bills lock up on the Ravens initially. I think the Ravens jump out to an early lead in this one, but I think the Bills are going to come back because eventually I think Josh Allen's going to be able to overpower them. And despite the Bills' lack of a run game, which is the one biggest weak spot on the Ravens roster. Yes, they did great against Henry, but for the entire year, they've been mediocre at stopping the run. That is where the Bills might have been able to hit him, but they can't. It's going to come down to Allen's arm. I think it's going to come down to another down-to-the-wire last-minute game, but I'll hand this one to the Buffalo Bills in a close matchup.
Yeah. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a really good one.
Yeah. Moving on, Cleveland Browns. I watched some NFL skits and stuff, and when the Browns made the playoffs, Bleacher Report had a little skit of Baker Mayfield. Every time the Browns made the playoffs, he had to go back and restart the season because he upset the natural order of things. And all the ghosts of the Browns quarterbacks are there like, you upset the natural order, bro. World's going to keep resetting until the Browns miss the playoffs. Well, forget about that. The Browns are here. They are incredible, both running and passing. Their defense has gotten even better. Their offensive line is incredible, but they're going up against one of the best teams in the league. And we have Matt Nagy in the comment section saying hello. Well, hello to you, sir. Thank you for joining our comment section. I hope you're doing well. Let us know what you think about the future playoffs. Very cool that you're here with us. So what do you think, Cademan? Are you going to go with a hot hand in Kansas City, or are you going to go with Cleveland?
I'm going to go with the Chiefs right off. I mean, the one thing that obviously the Browns, we saw them light up, and it was really all the energy. It was making the Steelers get frustrated by their mistakes that really, in my opinion, won the game for them because they just kept the energy going. They didn't stop. Their offense was good. And while their defense didn't hold up the entire game and gave Ben 500 passing yards or something, they still did enough to keep them frustrated, and they slowed them down enough while the offense kept going. And if the offense can play like that, we're going to see a really good game. I mean, the one worry I have for the Chiefs is that Patrick Mahomes and a lot of their starters have now been not playing football for 2 weeks because a lot of them rested week 17. They got the wild card bye. So we could see, I think I saw this in the preview, we could see one of two things. We could see that this made them all better because they're all rested, they're all recharged, they're all healthy, or we could see some team that's really rusty. And I don't know which way this is going to go. The Chiefs come out really rusty, and the Browns can take an early first quarter lead. I'm going Browns, but I don't think they're going to be that rusty. And I'm going Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going Kansas City, and you'll want to know why. The man, the incredible coach, Andy Reid, is one of the best coaches in NFL history on a bye week, period. He is absolutely incredible. He is 18-3. 18-3 in the regular season, 5-2 in the postseason, coming off of a bye week. The dude is absolutely incredible. I think the Chiefs take this. The Browns have been a great story this year. They've been an incredible team, but Andy Reid is now impossible to beat coming off of a bye week. He's an incredible schemer. The Chiefs are great, and CEH is coming back. Sorry about that.
There he is.
I figured that was going to happen. But I'm giving this one to Kansas City. Andy Reid is great on a bye week. The Chiefs are incredible. They're healthy. CEH is coming back. They have one of the best wide receiving cores in the entire league. The Browns are great. Don't get me wrong. They've been great this year. But I think they're going to meet their match. I think in the coaching department, Andy Reid has been one of the best. I think it's going to stay that way.
Yeah, you're not. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
One more. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, one more.
One more game, and this is probably as great as all the others are. This might be, there's a reason this one is Sunday night, because we get round 3 of Tom Brady and Drew Brees, this time in the playoffs, The Saints have beaten the Bucks twice in the regular season. They swept their series. Tampa's heating up. We've said that so many times this year. Is this the week they get it done? Lamar changed the narrative this week and knocked off Tennessee. Will Tampa? Evans is healthy. Their team is healthy. The Saints are coming off a solid win. So are the Bucks. They're both great. Neither of them are invulnerable, but they're both incredible teams. What do you think, Cayman? Is it going to be Mike Evans, the incredible receiving core in Tampa Bay, and a great offense, or one of the hottest defenses for the second half of the year and a great team with Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas? What do you think? Big game, Bucks, Saints to the NFC Championship. Who you got?
Well, it's pretty rare that we see teams play 3 times in a year. And when you do, I don't remember the last time I've seen a team beat one in their own division 3 times in a year. I'm going the Buccaneers. These teams know each other as well as any in the league. I think both of these teams are obviously really ready for these games. But Tom Brady and their receiving core has just been getting better and better each week ever since they got AB. And most of their guys are healthy except for maybe a defensive lineman, something like that. But I'm looking at the Buccaneers to take this one. I don't think they're losing 3 in a row.
It's definitely going to be close because the last time the Bucks and Saints played, the Bucks didn't lose. They got embarrassed 38-3.
Yeah.
Like, it was an absolute obliteration. I think that was the Bucks fluke game. You almost never see Brady throw 3 interceptions in a game. It happens once every year. I think that was their one really down game for the entire team. I'm of the opinion the Bucks have the best wide receiving core in the NFL. Evans is an incredible deep ball receiver. He's got great hands. Godwin is an incredible slot receiver. Antonio Brown has been just an incredible pass catcher. When Scotty Miller is your 4th receiver and you still have Gronk as a red zone threat, that's it for me. I think they've got the best core in the league in terms of receivers. It's going to be close. The Saints have a great team. Alvin Kamara has been incredible. Thomas, finally, it took him like 20 weeks to do it, but he's finally healthy again. And look, I love Drew Brees. I want him to win because I want him to go out on a high note. He's a great player. He's looking to retire soon. He's kind of taking a step back, and I would like to see him win a championship in his final season. Go out like Elway. I'd love to see that. But Tampa's just got such a great team. Their pass rush is incredible. Jason Pierre-Paul is playing like he's 27 again. The Saints are very, very, very good. And these are both teams that have heated up at the end of their seasons. Both of them have been absolutely incredible for their last few games. I think I got to hand it to Tampa. As much as I hate to say that to New Orleans, and if they prove me wrong, I'll be incredibly happy. Bruce Arians made it clear this year. It was Super Bowl or bust for this team. So I think I'm going Tampa in a very tight game, a very offensive game. I think it's going to be close. I'm going Tampa. I want the Saints to prove me wrong because I want Brees to win, but I'm going to go with Tampa.
Well, you folks heard it. We're both going with Tampa.
There you go.
And I think, did we agree on each of these matchups, AJ?
I think we did. If I'm looking back, because we both said Packers, Bills, Bucks, and the last game is now slipping my mind. Chiefs. Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. So before we pull out our thing and give our verse at the end, any last storylines you're expecting to watch? Anything you're expecting to see this week, Caven?
This week. Yeah. I mean, I'm a Packers fan, so obviously that's the game I'm most excited for. But the other one, the Sunday night, I'm a little bit worried because I feel like we can beat both of these teams. I feel like the Packers, when we played the Buccaneers, our offense, our defense definitely wasn't as good. But our offense was just having a fluke game. And maybe part of that was just because they were getting to Aaron Rodgers a ton and we didn't have a complete offensive line. But it's going to be a good game, and I don't know who I want to win. I know that I think the Bucs will win. I don't know who I want to win, AJ.
Yeah, it's It's tough. I think the Bucks might have a better chance to beat Green Bay because of their multifaceted offense. And don't get me wrong, the Saints have done incredible with their wide receiver depth. I was not expecting Traquan Smith and everyone else to come out this year, but I think Tampa might be the harder matchup for them. A couple weeks ago, when I needed the Rams to beat the Cardinals, I said I was the biggest John Wolford fan in the history of the NFL. I am now the biggest Jared Goff fan in the history of the NFL. It's gonna be a fun week in football. I got a lot of great matchups. I'm excited for tonight. I think Bills Ravens is gonna be my matchup. I'm gonna be glued to the television screen for it. But let us know what you guys think in the comment section about all the other games. Porter, Brett, Lightning Bauer, and Matt Nagy, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to check out. We're going to come out with a lot of other videos. We still have to do different ones on the NBA, MLB, college wrap-up, stuff like that. And, of course, we'll keep up with the NFL as well, all the way up to the Super Bowl. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Cayman, any last words for us before we pull out our stuff?
Go Pack, go!
All right, what you got for us? Go ahead and bust it out.
All right. Well, it is Packers time right now. And so I bring out a great Packers blanket.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Go Pack, go.
Oh, wow. Yikes. That's frightening. I don't know if I could show that show that to my younger siblings or cousins, man. That's horrifying to look at. For me, mine is totally random. So I don't have any Rams gear lying around the house, unfortunately. So I have this teeny tiny Heinz Ward jersey from Burger King from the early mid 2000s. I completely forgot I had this. I'm gonna be honest, but I love Heinz Ward. He's my Georgia boy, so you already know I gotta talk about that. And I love this thing, man. It's hilarious. I love this thing. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Caveman, hit us with our verse before we go.
All right. Proverbs 1:7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction.
There you go. Be sure to check out Allied Rivals Shorts. Bunch of short videos, just opinionated ones. We should be coming out with one of those soon. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But we will come out with one of those very, very soon. So be sure to subscribe with the notification bell on. I don't need to tell you guys this. Y'all have been on YouTube before. Whether it's morning, noon, or night, wherever you are, whenever you are. Hope you are having a great day. We'll see you next time on the Allied Rivals Podcast.